What's good, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of KJ Sports Talk, where we talk sports all day, every day. Before I get into the video, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't be afraid to leave a comment in the comment section. So let's get to the video. Today, the topic will be about who is the most valuable player out of Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott. This video idea came about because Dak Prescott is pretty much going through the same thing as Zeke Elliott was the year before in the contract disputes with Jerry Jones about how much money you're going to get, blah, blah. And the Cowboys pretty much set the whole standard for Ezekiel Elliott, signing him to a 5-year deal worth $90 million with $50 million guaranteed. Right now, they're in talks with Dak Prescott. We all know Dak is asking for $40 million a year. They've offered him $34 million guaranteed a year over the next 3 years. He declined that. Like we all know, he wants the $40 million a year. But they signed him to a franchise tag, and they have until July to sign him to a long-term deal. So we just got to wait and see, man, see what happens. But let's get into this topic of who is the most valuable player out of Zeke Elliott and Dak Prescott. Both players, as we both all know, both players were drafted the same year, 2016. Both had great rookie seasons. Cannot take that away from them. Dak threw for 3,600 yards, 23 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. Zeke, on the other hand, ran for 1,600 yards and 15 touchdowns. And that year they went 13-3. We all know the end. We all know the end result when it comes to the Cowboys in the playoffs. And that's not what this video is about. The year after that was the year that Zeke got suspended for the first 6 games of the season due to some off-the-field issues. So he was only able to play for a couple of games that season, but he still ran for 983 yards and had 7 touchdowns. While Dak threw for over 3,300 yards, 22 touchdowns, but had 13 interceptions. The year before that, he only had 4. Now he had 13, so you can already see that absence of Zeke, what that does to him a little bit. 2018, Zeke ran for 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns. Dak threw for 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns. And this past season, Dak finally hit that 4,000 yard mark. Dang near hit 5,000 yards, 4,900 yards, passing 30 touchdowns, while Zeke had 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. Unfortunately, we went 8-8 that year, this past year. Had the number 1 offense, still went 8-8. I don't get that. But in my opinion, personally, I think Ezekiel Elliott is the most valuable player. Only because when you could tell the difference in the whole entire offense when Zeke is having a really good game. It's a complete difference in the offense. First of all, there's rarely been times to where the opposing team's defense has just completely took Zeke out of the game. Let's be honest. The only person who really took Zeke out of the game was Jason Garrett. His own coach took him out of the game. Did not or rarely gave him the football. It would be times to where Zeke would have 60 yards rushing in the first half.
Right. Hi, YouTube.
On his way, excuse my live audience here, on his way to having 120-yard rushing for the entire game, but Jason Garrett would completely just not give him the ball at all in the second half and would just leave it up to Dak. Which, as I said, you can see the difference because, first of all, your offense becomes way too predictable when you take the running game out. It becomes way too predictable. Teams already know what you're about to do. And Dak, sorry, in my opinion, is not the type of quarterback that is able to read a defense and be able to make those changes at the line. Like, he's not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was the best quarterback to do that ever, in my opinion. But when Zeke gets going, that forces that opposing defense to put 8 men in the box. That forces them to do that. So that gives Dak a little freedom to throw the ball because now the coverage is going to be man-to-man. It's going to be man-to-man. But if Zeke is taken out the game, if he's having a bad game, whether he's having a bad game or his coach just decides not to give him the ball, they're going to drop the 8 men back pretty much to a zone coverage. And then that kind of decreases any chance of Dak Prescott making a play. And Dak, like, I'm pretty sure y'all have watched Dak play. Dak is a mobile quarterback. I'm not saying he's the most athletic quarterback, but he's pretty mobile. He can run. If there's nobody open, Dak will literally take the sack and fumble the ball or throw an interception. When he can either run or throw it out of bounds. But he mostly decides to get sacked and then fumble the ball. So if you take Zeke out the game, that puts way more pressure on Dak Prescott to deliver. Sometimes he has. I'm not going to take that away from him like he's not a clutch quarterback, because he is. He has shown up in crucial times. I'm not going to take that away from him. But 9 times out of 10, if Zeke has a bad game, Dak is going to have a bad game. If Zeke gets taken out the game to where the defense is just stopping him or his coach decides not to give him the ball, that's going to make our offense way more predictable. And sometimes Dak is not able to deliver. Because I don't think he's not right now. He's not that quarterback to just, I'm going to just take over the whole game. He's shown signs of it, but he's just not able to deliver all the time. So, to me, Ezekiel Elliott is the most valuable player on our team because he makes a huge difference. He opens things up for Dak Prescott and the rest of the offense. If I was the coach and Zeke is just having one of the best games of his career, first of all, I'm not going to stop giving him the football. And 2, on the plays where I decide to, it's going to be a play action. It's going to be a play action. Everybody is going to bite on that play action if Ezekiel Elliott is having a good game. Sorry. So to me, he is the most valuable player on our team. Pretty much how he affects our offense. He affects our offense in a really drastic way. And he really opens things up for our quarterback to also be effective and have a good game. So that's my opinion on it. So to me, Ezekiel Elliott is the most valuable player on our team. And I also think, even though they play different positions, Zeke is the most consistent with his playing. He's the most consistent. I just went down year by year stats with both guys. 1 year out of 4 years, Dak has thrown for 4,000 yards. This past season was the only time he's thrown for 30 touchdowns. This past season. 3 years out of the 4 years, Zeke has ran for 1,000 yards. Over 1,000 yards. The only reason he didn't in 2017 was because he got suspended for the first 6 games. And he was only 17 yards short of a 1,000-yard season. Zeke is more consistent with his playing. Now, Dak is more reliable. I'll give him that. He's more reliable. We've all seen the crazy things that Ezekiel Elliott does off the field and how that has affected him not being able to play for a full season. Dak, on the other hand, he doesn't get in trouble. He doesn't go out or anything like that. So he's more, you could rely more on Dak than you can Ezekiel Elliott. But as far as who has more impact during the game, there's no doubt it's Ezekiel Elliott. In my opinion, it is Ezekiel Elliott. He just has more impact. But that's just my opinion. Y'all are welcome to share y'all's opinion. Just leave them down in the comment section. I want my subscribers and my friends to interact. And don't forget to like this video and make sure you subscribe to KJ Sports Talk, where we talk sports all day, every day. And I will see y'all on the next video. Just a heads up, if Cam Newton is not signed by the time I do this video, my next video will be over if the Cowboys should probably sign Cam Newton if they cannot come to terms with Dak Prescott. So y'all watch out for that video. That video will be coming next. And also, my WrestleMania 36 predictions will be coming Monday. So I'll see y'all on the next video.